Hello people. My name is Soham, and you probably know me if you're watching this video, since this video is a bit more of a value add video. But in case you don't know me, I'm 19 years old. I have scaled my personal brand on Instagram to 56,000 followers, and on the back end of that personal brand, I have managed to create a multiple six-figure cash flow business. Alongside that, I'm also building a software company that is also around content as well. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can build your own personal brand from scratch. I'm going to give away all the secrets, all the tips, tricks, and sort of give you guys an exact step-by-step game plan as to how you can build your own personal brand starting today if you wanted to, okay? So we're going to go over everything from the fundamentals as to what you should be knowing before you build your personal brand, all the way to what the output of the video should look like, how you plan out your strategy, hiring an editor, and yeah, just a step-by-step game plan into every single part of the process and how I've done it. Just going to reveal all of it. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that you need to understand before you start making content and you just start recording yourself and just start posting videos is you really need to get into the why of content. All right. So the first thing that we're going to focus on is going to be, I don't know if you guys can see the whiteboard or not, but yeah, hopefully you can. The first thing is we're going to build out some resource docs, and this is going to help us. These are going to help us a lot in the future as well. But what are these resource docs? So these resource docs are just info pieces that sort of give us a lot of information as to, okay, what is the why of doing all of this, right? So it starts with my story doc. So my story is basically where you're listing what your story is. So how I like to go about this process is rather than just creating a document and try to type it out all manually, I would take a voice note into ChatGPT and just talk for like 3, 4, 5 minutes as to what your entire life story has been like up until this point. And yeah, just be very honest, talk through the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the canon event, and then ask ChatGPT to be like, hey, this is my life story in a raw manner. Can you sort of give me a more organized version of this without missing out any details? So ChatGPT is going to give you a doc, and that is going to become your first document in your resource docs, which is going to be your My Story doc. The second document that you want to build is your ideal viewer doc. Okay. What is your ideal viewer doc? You want to really understand who is going to be on the other end of watching these videos, right? So it's very important to know who's on the other end to understand what sort of content you're going to curate, right? Like you don't want to make your videos for any random people on the internet. You want to make sure that, okay, I'm making videos for this one specific ideal viewer. Like for me, my target market is founders. Founders, that includes business owners, that includes people running info businesses, running e-commerce businesses, building tech companies, and a lot of other things, like founders in general, right? So that's my ideal viewer. Now, what do you want to ask yourself about these ideal viewers? Who are they? Where are they based? What do they like? What do they want to see? What sort of content do they consume? What sort of hobbies do they have? What sort of music do they listen to? Ask yourself everything about your ideal viewer. And again, like the best practice is like record a voice note and put that into ChatGPT and then ask it to give you more information on your ideal viewer. And this again, guys, very, very important step into knowing exactly how you want to curate your personal brand. You need to know who your content is being viewed by. So that's the second thing, which is who's your ideal viewer. The third thing that I want you to do is list out pain points of your ideal viewer. What do I mean when I say pain points? I mean, what is the part that is sort of holding your ideal viewer from getting to their dream outcome? So let's say if I'm making content for founders, I want to talk about their pain points, which might be, they might be struggling with hiring, they might be struggling with scaling to 7 figures, they might be struggling with creating content, they might be struggling with marketing, might be struggling with sales. Or they could be different aspects. Like let's say if you want to tap into more of the mindset side of things, they might be struggling with procrastination. They might be struggling with just how they can sort of like get to work and sort of maximize output every single day. They might be struggling with productivity. Like I want to know exactly what the pain points of my ideal viewer are. Let's look at a completely different niche, right? Like let's look at the fitness niche. Like, okay, if you have your ideal viewers there, what are their pain points going to be? Their pain points are going to be, okay, how do I lose weight? How do I lose fat? How do I get leaner? How do I put on more muscle? So like know your ideal viewer's pain points. And again, the best practice is based on this doc, your ideal viewer doc, just ask ChatGPT like, hey, this is my ideal viewer. Just give me the pain points. Like what are the pain points that my ideal viewer would have? And ChatGPT is going to give you a lot of output. Make sure you sort of classify through that and go through that before sort of you just putting it up onto the doc. But again, very important to know the pain points because all of these pain points are going to turn into video ideas for you. And I'll explain how you can do that in a second. But once you have all 3 of these docs, also make another doc called a personal alignment doc. a personal alignment doc. Okay, what is a personal alignment doc? Really ask yourself, what does my personal brand look like? When someone watches my content, what do they think? So let's say a year down the line, or 3 years down the line, or 5 years down the line, I would ask myself, okay, what is Soham? Who is Soham perceived as? Like when someone opens Soham's content, what do they think of me? And all of this is really just questioning the why of your creating content, right? Like just being very aware that, okay, this is my goal with content is very important. And that's why we're sort of getting into the back end of things and getting into the back end of details. With your story, also make an unfair advantage, or let's say USP doc. Now, what is unfair advantage or USP? Basically, you want to, based on your story, just think in a different manner and think as to, okay, like how am I different from everyone else? What are the skills, or what is the mindset, or what are the unfair advantages that I have that I can use to leverage? Now, your unfair advantages might be the way you move, might be your network. Your unfair advantages might be the resources that you've gathered. Like, let's say if you're the CEO of a tech company and you have $100 million sitting in the bank, that's a huge unfair advantage. If you have nothing to lose, that's an unfair advantage as well. So like calculate all of your unfair advantages. And again, like if you're not able to find these, like put your story into ChatGPT and ask it like, okay, what is my unfair advantage? And sort of have a list of that as well. So now when you look at the macro picture, you know everything. Before even starting to create content, you know your story, you know what your unfair advantages are, so you can use them to target your ideal viewer. You know who's on the other end watching these videos, and you also have your pain points, right? You know what your ideal viewers are looking to curate, and you also have personal alignment. So you know what your brand is going to look like, you know who you're creating content for, and this is 90% of it. And this is 90% of it, right? Like if you've done this, you are way ahead than 90% of the people creating content, because most of these people that you see online, they just don't know what they're doing. They're just spamming random hooks, random sort of videos without any sort of game plan. What you need to do is dig deep into why, okay? So do this first, and then let's move on to the next bit. So once you're done with this, what you want to do next is you want to pick your unique avatar. So I'm just going to write that down here, which is your unique avatar. What is your unique avatar? So your unique avatar is what sort of persona you are based on your situation you're in. So we have sort of these base unique avatars, and then we have defined content game plans for all of them, which we have sort of for our clients at Beyond Scale. So basically, I'll sort of also tell you guys what Beyond Scale is. So basically, we work with people and we take them from point A to point B with their entire content journey. So if you don't want to put in all of this effort yourself, we literally hold your hand to sort of do it for you. But this is not a marketing video, so we'll get into that later. Okay, your unique avatar is completely based on your KPIs, right? So what are your KPIs? KPIs are key performance indicators. Now, I'll compare KPIs based on different sort of avatars. So let's say if you are the futurist, you're someone who's just getting started, your KPIs are completely different from someone who is already a pioneer in the space and who's made millions of dollars. And yeah, basically I'll sort of get into a bit more detail because this might sound a bit more complex, which is, okay, if I'm just getting started in business, I don't have anything that I want to leverage to my audience, I can take the route of somebody who is just going on adventures. I can sort of talk to my audience based on like, hey, like this is what I'm learning, this is what I'm getting into. And my key performance indicators are just sort of views, followers, new connections at that point, right? Like just learning as much as I can and just getting opportunities in front of my table. Versus let's say if someone is already really successful, runs $1 million company, his key performance indicator might be getting more authority when he walks into rooms, or getting more connections, or getting huge inbound deal flow. Like that could be his KPIs. Versus let's say if it's someone running an e-com brand, their key performance indicator might be getting a best supplier, or their key performance indicator could be getting more sales for their brand. Or someone running an info product, their key performance indicator would be closing more clients or closing more students for their program. So key performance indicator is basically what do you want out of content? And that is directly reflects to your unique avatar. Like if you just want authority and connections, you can obviously signal yourself as I'm someone who's not selling anything. I'm just sort of showing my journey. And you talk about your journey, you talk about a lot of different things that we'll cover. But like then your content is shaped completely different as to someone who's looking to get sales for his info product. If you're looking to get sales for your info product, you want to be a very You want to be very educational. You want to be delivering this sort of content where you're sort of like teaching people things. You want to be sort of positioning yourself as an authority in your lane. And you're, again, like your content style differs completely. So make sure you find out your unique avatar and what your key performance indicators from content are. What do I want out of content? Do I want sales? Do I want leads? Do I want more connections in authority? Do I want investors? Do I want customers? Do I want clients? So just ask yourself what your key performance indicators are. And once you're done with all of that, you have your resource docs, you know what you expect out of content. The next step is to optimize your Instagram account. So I'll just write that down here, which is optimize IG. Okay, how do you optimize your Instagram account? Now this again depends upon your unique avatar, but the basics of having a good Instagram account are just making sure your profile picture is set up the right way, making sure your bio is set up the right way, making sure that you don't have any sort of stuff that would be sort of instantly flagged as unprofessional. Like if all you have on your Instagram are partying pictures and stuff like that, that might not want to resonate with your personal brand. So really look at these docs, right? Like look at your personal alignment doc, and like, let's say you have 10 posts on Instagram already. Ask yourself, like, do all of these posts align with the version of myself that I want to show online? If they don't, then you can just archive them. And if you ever change your mind, you can unarchive them at any point. But if they do, you can leave them on there. The best thing that I'd recommend is, just having a clean Instagram, having a bio that sort of says what you do. So my bio is CEO at Beyond Scale, and I'm very clear with like, I help founders build magnetic personal brands. And you can have what you do in your bio. Just very plain and simple. Don't try to sort of sound like too much markety, or don't try to put a lot of emojis and stuff. Just keep it very plain, very simple, what you do, maybe where you live as well. And just have a very professional profile picture. So your profile picture should not be something that's not something that you would have on photo ID, or not something that's way too casual as well. Just have a decent profile picture where your face is visible, and that will pretty much be it. I'd also recommend getting a blue tick, which is something that a lot of people don't recommend, but it just increases authority. Your reply rates are much higher. And that's just something that I would recommend to people. So if you can, then get a verified blue tick, and that's going to help with just having more authority. When you follow people, you get more follow backs, and there's just multiple advantages. But get that as well. So you have optimized your Instagram, and now it's time to get into the first video. Let's just get into the first video. All right, okay, quick. Before we get into the first video, I missed something pretty quick, which is you want to have a brand mood board, which is very important. And then I'll also sort of tie into how it ties into your editor and your content team. So why is a brand mood board important, and what is a brand mood board in the first place? So a brand mood board is a visual representation of what your brand is going to look like. So you want to imagine your brand as something that's at 1 million followers, right? Like when you're at 1 million followers, there are things that if you sort of kept them consistent in your brand, those things, people start to associate those things with you, and you with those things. Like for me, my brand mood board is includes of these glasses. They include of my dressing, which looks like this. They include of a lot of different things, like the sort of tech I use, the sort of color grade I want to have. So brand mood board might include things like your dressing. They might include things like objects you carry, the sort of vibe you want to give out, vibe you want to give. So like, let's say if you're someone who likes like even going into your music sense, like if you're someone who's sort of always on point and you're sort of like hyped up, you're fresh, then you should probably have that on your brand mood board. Like you should have sort of like your music playlist on your brand mood board. If you're someone who's like a bit more laid back, you sort of like things peaceful, you like nature, you like that, have your environment in your brand mood board. That's very important as well, right? So you know what is going to go out visually, right? Like there's multiple aspects to a video. There is the visual aspect, there is the audio aspect, there is the strategy aspect. There's obviously everything that plugs into the back end as well. But again, like be very specific with what your video is going to look like visually. Like the thing is, like where you can extract your edge in building a personal brand is be intentional with every little thing. Like make sure that every little thing is dialed in. Don't be random at all. Don't be like, okay, I'm just going to take my phone and I'm just going to take a video of myself and just post that and call it a content strategy. Like, yeah, if you're doing a lot of volume with that, it might work. but this is going to work much, much better just being intentional with every little thing. And that's why our clients get lots of good results as well, right? Like we help them nail all of this. Like we cross-question them 100 times. We have systems for all of this. So like every single thing is not something that they have to figure out by themselves. We literally hold their hand through the process and make sure that they're well taken care of. But it's not something that you just can't do by yourself, right? It's not rocket science. You can figure it out by yourself as well, which is why I'm making this video. So yeah, I would say having your environment and your brand mood board is pretty good as well. Yeah, just create a Miro board, throw some pictures on there of what you want your brand to look like visually. And that's going to help a lot. Like that is obviously one going to give you a lot more clarity on how it's going to look like. Like even, like I said, stuff on your music as well, but even stuff on what sort of colors do you like? Like, are you the black and navy and gray kind of guy? Or are you the red, orange, purple? Like, are you a vibrant person? Like have all of that. So you know, okay, this is what visually my brand should look like, right? And then this brand mood board is going to be directly referenced by your video editor. So you should have a video editor, which is a very good reason. As a founder, your time should be spent on high leverage tasks, which is you should not be wasting time. You should not be doing things that are labeled as grunt work. So I would recommend, like all of our clients have video editors. Like we literally source video editors with them. Like we have a pool of some of the best editors, and based on their brand mood board, we source an editor and we sort of plug it in with them. But find a video editor, put out an Instagram story, however you want to do it. Find a video editor and explain the brand mood board to them. And that will give him a lot more clarity as to what sort of output is going to come from the content. And he will understand as to, hey, this is the sort of content that I am looking to curate for this person, right? So have a video editor and have them plugged in with your brand mood board as well. Once you have your brand mood board dialed in, you basically have the preset factor for creating your first video. You have everything dialed in and you're ready to make your first video. Now, if you're already making videos, this is something that I would still recommend you to do, which is making an introductory video. Because this is going to be a good start and a good refresh as well if you're sort of putting this strategy into place. What does an introductory video do? An introductory video is basically something that sort of covers up everything you've sort of been to in your life up until this point, what you're doing at the moment, and what you're going to be doing in the future as well, right? So we have all of our clients do this, which is you sum up 3 main things in the introductory video, which is what you've been up to, what you're doing, and where are you headed. You want to show what you've been up to because that's going to be relatable with a lot of people. A lot of people are going to look at what you've been up to, and they're going to relate with your journey, whether it's what city you came from, or whether it's what sort of upbringing you had, or what sort of companies you built. Like when you talk about those things, people are going to relate with what you've been up to. When you talk about what you're doing at the moment, you are going to attract a lot of people based on, okay, what is the caliber of thing that you're doing at the moment? If you're running a big company, that's going to impress a lot of people. That's going to find a lot of people in your same lane. Like when you speak, I'm going to build a marketing agency, people with marketing agencies are going to see that video. Like that's how the Instagram algorithm works. And that's going to attract a lot of your ideal viewers as well. And where you're headed is for future reference. So when you talk about, hey, I'm on a mission to build $1 million company, or I'm going to scale to X number in this year, it ties people and gives them a reason to follow you, right? Which is, okay, like he's headed there and I want to see the journey, which is why they'll follow you as well. So that's what the framework of the introductory video looks like. But before you get into, so like this is the wide scale, but before you get into the script directly, let me sort of break down what a video should have in general, okay? So I'm just like, this is for everyone, like this is literally from the ground up. So I'm just going into the basics as well, which is the hook, which is the body. Second thing is the body. And the third thing is the call to action, okay? So this is the bucket of a video. Now I'll tell you how the Instagram algorithm works. The algorithm is all about testing your video with larger and larger data samples. As soon as you put up a video, it's going to be shown to 100 of your followers and 100 of your non-followers. And based on how much they're watching the video, if they're engaging with the video or not, if they're sharing the video or not, it's going to test the same video with bigger sample sizes. So if 100 people are reacting good with it, it's going to show the video to 1,000 people. If 1,000 people are reacting good with it, it's going to show the video to 10,000 people. That's exactly how the algorithm works. And whenever the sample doesn't perform well, it sort of stops pushing the video out to more people, and that's when the views cap out. And it's not only about the sample sizes, but it's also about who you're targeting with the video, right? So if you were clear with all the steps that we did first, and if you know your ideal viewer and you are directly speaking to them, Instagram shows the video to 10 different types of people. And if the type of person that you're looking to attract engages better than the other people, then obviously the video gets shown to more of that kind of person. So yeah, it's a little complex, but when you break it down into first principles and what you should be doing based on what I told you guys before, it's really not that complex. So that's what the algorithm looks like. And what is our goal? Our goal is to give our audience dopamine hits. Yeah, sounds very cruel, but that's what our goal is. Our goal is to give our audience dopamine hits. The first dopamine hit comes in the hook. Now, the hook of the video must be based on two things. It should either spark curiosity or it should introduce authority. So a curiosity-based hook is me saying something like, as a 19-year-old soon-to-be Bollywood superstar, right? I'm like, okay, people are gonna think like, okay, what did he mean when he said Bollywood superstar, right? And then I sort of link that back somewhere into the body, but that any hook that makes people curious, like, okay, can I make $1 million in the next 90 days? And then you talk about your process. Like that's a curiosity-based hook. While an authority-based hook is when you're introducing authority, when you're talking about something that you've accomplished, like saying, I raised $1 million in funding, or saying I ran a $10 million company, or saying we crossed $10,000 in revenue. Like those are authority-based hooks. So both of these hooks are really good. Like they work really well, and if they constructed the right way, it's going to perform well. So the hook is a very, very important part of the video. Basically, Instagram analyzes how much your video is watched past 3 seconds. So those sample sizes that I just told you about, this is what Instagram analyzes in those sample sizes. So it sees how many of your viewers watched the video past 3 seconds. Then in the body, it's sort of, okay, gonna be a bit of a mess here, but in your body, it's sort of video's body, it checks average watch time. So basically like what is the average amount of time the people watch your videos. And that is, you can increase average watch time by giving more dopamine hits in your video. So dopamine hits are basically little dopamine spikes that you want to give out throughout the video by sounding relatable, saying something funny, saying something humorous, having a canon event, having a flow to the video. That's basically what you want to do with dopamine hits. Make sure your video has a good story. You're taking people through a journey. Or let's say if it's a value-based video, you give out dopamine hits with value. Like if people are constantly thinking like, oh, I'm getting value from it. I'm getting value from it. They're going to get more dopamine hits and they're going to stay for longer. Like that's exactly how it works. And that's the whole goal. Like over the time that the video ends, you want to take your authority. You want to take your authority from 0. It goes as to a spike in the hook. And then you want to slowly increase that over time as the video goes on. And then when your authority is at the highest, you want to put in a call to action. You want to put in a call to action to make sure that you can capitalize on that authority. And the call to action doesn't have to be very like, go ahead and smash that follow button, or don't sound cringe, right? Like, okay, if I were to stitch something up right now, you can be like, I'm on my road to $1 million. So if you want to follow along, you know what to do. Like something very subtle like that. Or if you're saying like, let's say you're building an app, you can be like, yeah, the first version is going to be out at X point. If you want to join the waitlist, comment the word X, and then you can just have a comment automation. Like whatever your KPI is, again, guys, like I'm tied to my market. That's why I'm giving examples for founders. But whatever your KPI is, give a call to action based on that. Get people to follow you through your videos. I'll sort of break down what are different video formats and video styles as well. But that's sort of what the basics look like, okay? So this is sort of what a video looks like. This is the basics of it. I'm going to move on to the next topic. The next topic is styles of videos, right? This is something that's very important and is going to dictate how it works. After we're done with that, we'll also go over exactly how a funnel looks like. We'll get into Instagram stories and we'll get into all of that as well. But let's get into video formats. So before I get into details, let me talk to you about the two things that are then in a video, okay? There is the macro aspect of a video and there is the micro aspect of a video. So this is the video format and this is the script. The macro aspect is the video format, and the micro aspect is the script. What is the macro aspect? The macro aspect is basically the style of video. That the video that you see right now has a macro aspect and it has a micro aspect. The micro aspect is what I am talking about. It is me showing you guys the content strategy. It is me just like talking about some things, and what I'm talking about is the micro aspect. But the style of video that you're seeing right now, that's the macro aspect. So let's say day in the lives. When I post day in the lives, like I have a specific macro aspect for it, wherein like that's the exact first clip I use, and there is a specific way like I use wide angle, and that's my macro aspect of videos. And the micro aspect obviously is what I say in those videos, how my day goes. Like my day can be different, but the style that I record my day in, that's the same. So that macro aspect is the video format. So we talked about how you can sort of like, we talked about exactly how you sort of like in the introductory video, basically what you talk about and what you do in the script. We'll get into more about that later as well, and when we sort of talk into the process of making this repeatable. But let's look at video formats for a second. So you can make tons of different styles of videos, right? So there's two main types of content. There is lifestyle content and there is value content, right? So what a mistake that a lot of people make is they just go lifestyle. They just post these fancy videos of supercars, and they just post fancy videos of themselves living, or videos of themselves dancing and whatnot. And the thing is, you attract a big audience. You have a little bit of authority because of the cars and the money that you're flashing, but you have zero trust with your audience. And with the value side of things is you deliver a lot of value, right? You go value. You just want to talk about, okay, this is what we're doing, and just give out all the free sauce away for free. Like value content is what I'm making right now. Thing with value content is you build a lot of trust, right? So trust is high, but the sample size is very small. So the people that watch your content are very, very less. Like you build trust, but only with 100 people. Your followers grow very slow. The fine line that you have to find is in between these two, wherein you have a mix of both. So a mix, and that is where the money is. If you can sort of nail the mix between lifestyle and value content, that is where the money is. And how you do that is by having different content formats for different things, right? Like let's say on YouTube, obviously we're talking a bit more about Instagram, but let me go back to YouTube as well right now. So on YouTube, I have two different content formats. I have vlogs. So vlogs are specifically for the lifestyle side of things, to attract that bigger sample size. But am I going to not build trust with that sample size? No, I am going to build trust by posting these value pieces, right? Value pieces. So those are the two different content formats for YouTube. Now, when it comes to Instagram, I have these my robot videos, right? Those videos are purely for value, but are those videos going to grow my Instagram? No, I'm going to post day in the lives. I'm going to show people this is what my day looks like. That is going to increase my followers. I'm going to post these lifestyle aesthetic videos that are going to grow my followers. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my raw learnings. That is going to, again, that's value content. We should do raw learnings. So out of just keep, that's just note to my editor, which is like just add these videos on the side when I'm saying, so like people can get a reference. So this is what a raw value-based video looks like. This is what a my robot video looks like. This is what a day in the life video looks like. This is what a lifestyle edit looks like. And yeah, that's just, you keep switching it up. And the thing is, we have these 8 content formats that work really well for our clients, which is something I'm not going to give away for free. I've given it a lot for free, but it's basically, I just can't explain on a whiteboard. So we have these 8 content formats that our clients have access to, which they pick from and they curate content. And you want to make sure that your content sounds very non-documented. This is something that's going to help you a lot, right? Obviously, you can make some documented content for your value-driven pieces, like this one, which is like, I'm sort of like making this video to make a video, right? Like when documented content is basically, it's very evident that you're doing it for the camera. Non-documented content will help a lot in lifestyle content, as well as if you can nail value non-documented content. Like if I was recording this video in a room full of people and explaining it to them, that would sort of take my authority a bit higher. But obviously I'm doing it for the camera, which is documented content, which is perfectly all right at times as well. But again, those are 2 different types of content as well. So you have to be very careful with like what sort of video formats you're picking and what sort of your intention is with them, and then building a repeatable schedule out of that, right? So this is this is documented content, but if you can make non-documented value content, that is really good as well. Again, I'm just taking a random example, which I shouldn't be doing right now, but that is what video formats look like, okay? I'm gonna get into a bit about ideation and scripting. So if you have picked out your video formats already, you know what sort of the style of videos that you wanna make. A1, you're well off. Let's get into ideation and scripting. If you haven't picked it out yet, give it a little more thought. Check out some of your favorite creators and see what sort of content they're making. Check if their macro and micros are dialed in. Like, okay, look at Ashton Hall. Like the sort of videos that he was making. If you don't know who Ashton Hall is, here's a video right here. If you don't know what sort of content he was making, the macros were the same, like the same style of videos, but he kept changing the micros, which is why he got hundreds of millions of views. Like Mr. Beast's content, the macro is the same. Right? The style of videos that he makes, the sort of edits that he does, but the micro is different. Like he does different challenges, different sort of stuff, which is why he attracts a different audience every single time. Like he keeps sort of like creating fresh content, but the macro is always the same. So look at the macros of your favorite content creators and try to pick out 3 to 4 video formats that you really enjoy. And that's really going to help you. And then sort of I'm going to teach you as to exactly how you can shape those macros into really good micros as well. So now that we've talked a bit more about the macro side of content, I'm going to teach you guys a bit more about micro side of content. So micro is obviously your ideation and your scripting. And this is how it works, right? So ideation, I'm going to teach you guys the best way to ideate. So if you want your first 50 video ideas, just look at pain points of your ideal viewers. Look at pain points of your ideal viewers and tie those into your journey. Just tie those into your journey straight up. Like, okay, if my ideal viewer has X pain point, which is like, okay, he can't build a personal brand, I will tie that into my journey of how I built my personal brand and I will create a video out of that. That's a video idea. And if you ask, like use AI guys, like I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh, you have to do everything by yourself and you have to just figure it out by your own. It's not important. Use AI, do as much work with AI, Claude, ChatGPT, whatever you want to. I've seen that what my AI workflow usually looks like is I use ChatGPT for a lot more research and ideation, and I use Claude a lot more for the scripting side of things. I like the output that Claude gives me. But yeah, just look at the pain points of your ideal viewer and sort of ask yourself, how can I relate that back to my journey? And those are video ideas right then and there. Obviously, if those are not video ideas, you can always find non-documented video ideas. Like, what are you doing through your life? You can make videos about that. If you're doing something at your company, you can make a video about that. And guys, like, trust me, the ROI on this is insane. I made an entire video specifically about why you should be building your personal brand. I'll link that in the description in case you want to check it out after this video. But yeah, just look at your pain points and your journey and you'll have 99% of ideation sorted. And when it comes to scripting, it's very important you treat every idea into, okay, what sort of macro bucket does it go into? So, okay, let's say I am going to make a video that's going to be about teaching my audience how to hire people, like, or talking about a hiring story, or talking about, yeah, just something around hiring, right? So you then think as to, okay, what is going to be the macro bucket? Like, do I want to make it like a value-based video where I'm sort of like teaching in front of a whiteboard? Or do I want to just have B-rolls and clips and then sort of add a voiceover to that and create that? So just define your macro bucket first. So your idea, your macro bucket, and then you come to scripting. So in scripting, you always want to focus on aiming for low complexity. So you don't want to be using these glorified words and these long sentences and all of these things to sort of like, don't make it too complicated for your viewer. Like, break concepts down as if you're explaining to a 5-year-old, which is what I'm trying to do right now. Like I'm at all times I'm thinking about, okay, if a 5-year-old was watching my videos, would they understand? Aim for low complexity, but also use industry words. Use industry words. So if I was making videos around marketing and I would use words like ROAS, return on ad spend, or I would use words like CPC, cost per click. Like, those words will help me attract my ideal viewer as well. But try to break down those words. Like for someone who doesn't know ROAS, explain ROAS to them. Like that's a pretty good sort of authority and value point as well. So aim for low complexity, use industry words. Again, follow the same framework, which is going to be hook, body, call to action. Make sure the hook is either curiosity or authority based. And in the body, just make sure you keep giving them dopamine hits by sounding relatable, adding humor, or just making sure that just make sure that every second of the video gives the viewer a reason to watch. So that's sort of like the micro aspect of videos, which is ideation and scripting. Let me get into the most fun part of the videos, which is the visual of the videos. So I'm gonna get into visual. If you don't know already, visuals are my favorite part of the videos. So again, let me tell you a bit more about Beyond Scale. So for helping our clients nail visuals, we have a creative director on board. His name is Arav. So his main job is to make sure that visual side of videos for all clients are maxed out. He edits my videos, but he's a creative director and he manages a lot of editors. Like I think he's managing 10, 15, 20 editors at this point. But visuals are a very important side. So there's two main sides to visuals. So there's A rolls and there's B rolls. So B-rolls are something that I would recommend you film actively. B-rolls are something that's very important to your brand. What are B-rolls? B-rolls are basically clips where you're not directly speaking to the camera, but it's just clips of you doing random things. Like if I was just setting up my phone here and I was just like walking around, I was doing my thing and there was a video getting captured of that, that's B-roll. That's non-documented content. A-rolls are videos of you speaking to the camera, right? The camera is in your face and you are speaking to it. So this is an A-roll clip. But if you saw clips of me in the start, or if you, let's say my vlog, like there's clips of me driving and stuff like that, where I'm not speaking to the camera, that's B-rolls. So B-rolls are going to be really helpful because you want to be aiming to, B-rolls help a lot with retention, right? I'm going to be honest, like when you're doing a voiceover and you've added a lot of clips on top, so pop in a reference here, RF for them to see. But when you're doing a voiceover and you have a lot of B-rolls coming in, it sort of helps with retention because people have visual attachment to what's being said. And you build a B-roll library over time. Like just aim to take like 5 clips a day for yourself every single day. Like just doing random things. If you're hitting the gym, take a clip of yourself hitting the gym. If you are working, take a clip of yourself working and aim to build a B-roll library. And for A-rolls, obviously you can just record them when you are sitting down to record. Now, whenever you're sitting down to record B-rolls, make sure that your environment that you made in your brand mood board, make sure everything that you put up into your brand mood board is being reflected into the B-rolls that you are shooting. If you want to curate a premium personal brand, make sure that the B-rolls that you shoot are premium as well, which is very important to understand here. So beside A-rolls and B-rolls, there are little things like fonts. There are little things like, I'd say I'll count the music as to like, it's not exactly visuals, but it's also like the audio visual effect of a video. So music obviously should resonate with the topic. So like if the video is sad story from your childhood, obviously the music has to be able to sort of match the pacing of that. If it's like some upbeat pop stuff while you're talking about death, like obviously it's not going to make sense, right? So make sure the music sort of matches the visual side of things. And when it comes to fonts, just pick something that you can use in the long run, okay? Just pick something that you can use in the long run. And this goes both for Instagram and for YouTube as well. Create a visual identity that people would sort of resonate back to. Like you look at Daniel Dillon, right? Like he did a great job with the visual side of things. Like he created this visual effect that a lot of people copied. But the thing is, every single time people copied his content, people would think about Daniel Dillon again because like he started that, right? Like these glasses as well. These glasses are from his company. Like I've worn them a lot, but the thing is like a lot of people would associate these with Daniel Dillon. And I'm not telling you to start a glasses company, but I'm telling you like have consistency in fonts, have consistency in the style of videos you make. And that's going to help you go a long, long way. I feel like I've talked about majority of the things. Let me just get into one thing that's very important is having a funnel. So a funnel is basically how am I going to make money from content, or how am I going to increase trust from my viewers? So this is what a funnel looks like, which is, it's sort of like a bucket. These are 3 stages of a funnel, which is top of funnel, which is middle of funnel, and this is bottom of funnel. So this is what your content for. I'm going to talk about my funnel, okay? I'm not just going to tell you guys about anything. Like not going to take any random references. I'm going to tell you guys about my funnel and the content funnel that I've used that have gotten me a lot of different things. I mean, a bigger audience basically. Sorry, I'm just fumbling at this point, but okay. So my content funnel has trial reels as top of funnel. Okay, trial reels, let me get into that. That's a completely separate topic. So you see a lot of these trial reels of just B-roll clips, a good text, as well as some trending music. I have banged onto that for a very long time. So how you want to create trial reels is you want to maximize on volume. Like you can literally post 20 trial reels a day and they won't be shown to your followers, or they won't show up on your page, right? So they're not going to affect your engagement, but they're a very good opportunity to attract new followers. But you don't want to be attracting random followers. You want to be attracting people in your niche. You want to be attracting people who actually like will potentially, like, who are your ideal viewers, right? So what I do is I have really good B-rolls, right? So everything in this video that you see ties back into each other, into every single thing that I'm talking about right now as well. But I have really good B-rolls. So I aim to pick the best B-rolls of mine and I curate them together. So I put 4 to 5 B-rolls in a single clip, and the clip is like 6 to 7 seconds long. And on that clip, I put on text which is very relatable to my ideal viewer. So that can be like POV, building a business with your friends, or let's say POV, you're a founder who's, okay, like not POV, you're a founder who's, but let's say POV, average is not an option. So like self-improvement stuff. Or I can be like, I can talk about things that my ideal viewers do. So I would use like ChatGPT, MacBooks, paddle, German cars. Like, okay, if my ideal viewer is founders and I want to attract rich founders, what do rich founders do? And I would put that text on and I would like produce 20 of those. And we do that for a lot of our clients as well, which we have defined strategies for everything, right? Like, again, guys, all of what you're seeing right now is like, it's not surface level stuff, but it's a bit more scattered. And the best thing is like you can use this information to build around systems for yourself. But obviously if you're a founder who's already doing 6-7 figures and you want all these systems and you want us to sort of implement this for you, I don't again want to sound too salesy, but obviously I'm going to plug my business in. You can just reach out to me. I'll have a call booking link in the bio and we'll sort of help you out. Like we literally take people from zero to their dream destination. But if you're still looking to build out this by yourself, start with trial reels, post as much volume as possible. Out of just put a couple of my trial reels here. I might even link like a trial reel or two of mine if you want to bank onto that. But I have trial reels on my top of funnels. They consistently get me 50 to 100 new followers every single day. And along with trial reels, I also have vlogs, which are top of funnel for my YouTube, which is I want new viewers for my YouTube. So basically like in a funnel, top of funnel basically means that there are high volume, but there's not as much trust because they haven't sort of watched as much content of yours as possible. So this is top of funnel. Middle of funnel is some people have fallen through, but you're nurturing them. You're sort of like showing them content around what you do and the trust is a little higher. And bottom of funnel is basically your conversion assets. So basically, how do you take people from viewers to buyers? So that is what it looks like, right? So trial reels and vlogs are something that I use for my top of funnel. And when it comes to middle of funnel, I have my short form content and I have YT value pieces. So short form content is basically, again, like these reels that I post where I'm just talking about my days, talking about my journey. Like my goal with those reels is not to go viral and get more followers. My goal with those reels is to just make people a bit more aware about me, just get more touch points in as much as I can. And then also my YouTube video pieces. Like this video is a middle of funnel video for me, where I'm just aiming to, just get more watch time in from my audience and just make sure that people trust me because they know that, okay, I can actually back what I'm preaching. So that's middle of funnel. And for me, bottom of funnel is obviously story sequences, which is I put out these Instagram stories where it's like 6 to 7 stories where I aim to take people from viewers to buyers. I tell them about what we do and I have a call to action in the end. So that is what story sequences look like, which is my bottom of funnel. And we're also going to start with retargeting ads. So that's how many styles of content. Okay, we're producing trial reels. That's 1, vlogs. That's 2. So this is YouTube side of things. And this is, Instagram side of things. So this is what my funnel looks like, but your funnel can be different. So different based on your KPIs. So let's say you're looking to get users for your app. Your funnel would be completely different. If you're looking to get, let's say, sales for your product, your funnel would be completely different. So let me know in the comments if you want me to make specific videos about specific niches as well, because I can do that. Because funnels will be completely different for everyone, but the basics will be the same. Like basics will be definitely the same. And especially if you're a founder, you can just literally rip off my funnel. Like that's very easy to do. It's easy to rip it off, hard to execute that consistently. But that's sort of like what a funnel looks like. Let me get into a couple of things that you need to understand from a mindset point of view, right? Don't operate as an influencer. Okay, so this is something that you need to understand, which is don't operate as an influencer. You don't want to just build a massive audience of people who have no interest in buying from you. You want to build a niche audience of high intent buyers and of your ideal viewers. So don't operate as an influencer, operate as a founder who understands the importance of content. Look, content is definitely going to change your life. Like the one thing that I would recommend to every single person who I meet is just start creating content, because the number of opportunities it's going to get you, like it's going to get you investors, it's going to get you clients, it's going to get you customers, it's going to get you whatever you want out of it. Like you're as a man, you're trying to play these different games, or as a woman as well. Like you're trying to increase status, you're trying to increase wealth, you're trying to have a better social circle. Your personal brand is going to amplify all of that for you, and it's one of the best investments that you can make as well. Like not in terms of like money to work with someone, but in terms of time. Like the time that you're putting in to build your personal brand is the highest return on you, especially if you're young, if you're a founder, if you're building something that has value to it, or you're building a business. Your personal brand is just going to amplify it 100 times than what it is right now. Like if you're a local business and you want to go global, the best thing that you can do is build a personal brand. Like you see all these people online talking about personal brands, personal brands, and you're like, oh, what is that word? Guys, that word literally like has made billions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars for people. Like it's one of the best things. Like it changed my life entirely, which is why I'm just sort of talking about it so much, and like which is why my company is around that as well, right? Like I'm also building a software company. Like guys, I'm pouring in tens of thousands of dollars to create a product for you that's gonna help you basically. I don't want to leak the product, but it's going to help you a lot with content. And I back personal branding a lot because I have firsthand seen the benefits. Like I'm not sitting here with 500 or 1,000 followers telling you that, oh, build a personal brand. I have seen the other side of what it looks like to have a personal brand, and it's the best thing. Like you get inbound business, everything sort of is made easy for you. Like getting reservations at a restaurant, I can put up an Instagram story and get reservations wherever I want. Like that's the sort of leverage that it unlocks. Like we recently onboarded a client who runs, I don't want to do the exact numbers, but like multi-$100 million company. And like that person came to me through connections that I had through my personal brand. So like whatever business you're doing, like don't think as if like a personal brand won't work for me. It will work for you. And obviously like attack it on your own. Like I told you guys, it's not rocket science. You can figure it out by yourself. But if you can sort of invest a couple $1,000s and you want to work with us, that's obviously there's going to be a calendar link in the description. And let me see if I'm missing something. I don't think I am, but obviously if I did miss something, I will probably post a video about it again as well. But that's basically what content looks like, guys. Your goal is to build trust with masses. And the best way to do that is by being intentional with everything, like I said. Sort of to give you guys a recap, be intentional with everything. Make sure that you have your macros dialed in. Make sure that you're scripting the videos the right way to sort of increase viewer duration as much as possible. Get people to follow you. And when it comes to like posting Instagram stories and stuff, just post as many stories as you can, sort of sharing your journey. And always keep in mind, okay, what is my personal alignment look like? Like, okay, that's the sort of brand that I'm looking to build. And what can I do to sort of step in a better direction there? And yeah, just engage with your community. And I think I'll also make a video as to how you can monetize your personal brand the best way possible. Let me know if you guys like the video. Just trying to create some content for everyone, and hope you guys kill it.